Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks for your support. We appreciate it. This is Rich in the Philippines, and today we're going to talk about something that I don't think that I've seen any other videos on, and I looked too, and that's the issue of your IDs and your credit cards. And what I mean by that is before I left, before I came over here, I told you that I planned for this for a good 2 years. And I planned hard and heavy for 1 year, almost straight, of just getting everything ready, selling the house, leaving the job, doing the paperwork, the retirement paperwork, all of that. And this is one thing that I did think of and I did do. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to lay out all your credit cards and all your IDs right in front of you, and I want you to look at the expiration dates and see when they're due. Here's the reason why. If you're going to be here for any amount of time, I'm going on 2 years. So what I did was I made sure that my passport, right out of COVID, right before I came here, my passport was renewed. My driver's license, this is really important one. Make sure that your driver's license is at the furthest point you can get it to. Mine was up for renewal anyway, so it worked out perfect. So I went and got a new driver's license right before I left. And it was a little bit difficult because I was in between homes. I was getting ready to come here. And it took some work to get it done. But I'm so thankful that I did. With the driver's license, and this is totally your call, with the driver's license, please get your motorcycle license if you plan to ride here. It'll make your life, again, so much easier, so much fun. And that's what I did. So the two things, the driver's license and the passport, I renewed them. The third thing I did, I was going to say second, but the third thing I did was to go through all my credit cards, my bank cards too. And I looked from the newest to the oldest. And what I literally worked my way back. The ones that were becoming due, I strived. I worked to get those replaced. I wasn't able to do them all. I got the important ones done. I got the banks and I got the debit cards. I got all of those so that they weren't due for years and years. Now, here's where I slipped up. One in particular, American Express, one was slipping out, well, within 2 years, really, about a year and a half. And so while I've been here, it hit its expiration date. And I thought, well, and I got there's a decent amount on that one. And it's free. I mean, it's freed up. And so I'm like, yeah, I should probably go ahead and get that renewed. Which leads me to the second part of this video. Guys, plan on spending some call time at night. Last night, I was on the phone for over 3.5 hours. And then last week it was 2 hours, and we're talking about at 2 o'clock in the morning. Some of these places are open 24/7. Amex is open 24/7. And last night I was on a hour and 30-minute phone call to Social Security. Well, what's funny about that, I was on hold for an hour and 15 minutes, and I talked to them for 15. Be prepared for that. However, Social Security office, their hours are their hours, and they don't muck around. You can't call them. You need to call them at the moment they open or in the second half of the day. I was calling the second half of the day, and I still had to wait an hour and 15 minutes. It was worth it, and I was able to clear it all up. The people on the phone, once you do the wait at Social Security, if you can't do it online, and you can do some things online, however, I prefer the ear-to-ear. I prefer to hear and I write down their names and the time I talk to them. I prefer that way to go. So plan on that. The other thing to plan on with the American Express and with another card I had to use a service called IntelliCheck. And that's when they send a link, and they can do it on your Filipino phone number. And what's funny is I'm talking to Amex, and guess where she's at? She's in Makati at a call center. And I think I know exactly where the call center is. Exactly, because I stayed at Airbnb right across the street from that call center in Makati. which is funny because you're talking to American Express and you're talking to American Express in the Philippines, who sent me back to America. Anyway, another story. So the IntelliCheck uses your driver's license, so that's why it has to be up to date, and then it takes a selfie picture of you and it matches them directly to American Express while they're talking to you. So you are verified while they're talking to you. The end of the American Express story is that they are sending me a card at no charge here in the Philippines. Tell them I'm traveling, and I don't really use that card a lot anyway. It's part of the emergency fund, even though, still having the pesos is much more important. However, it's good to have that backup of, potential buying power, whether it's for a ticket or healthcare, because some hospitals actually take credit cards, even though I'm sure they prefer pesos. So getting back to the point of the story, prepare for two things. Prepare to have all your cards updated, and prepare that you're going to have talk time. And last week I had healthcare updates. So I literally had to call America, and then I called the healthcare provider, who, guess what, was in Manila. I don't even want to say their name. It doesn't make any difference. A lot of them are. So, and then she bounced me back to America, and then she bounced me back to the healthcare carrier. So it was really interesting. The point is that you're going to have to block out time in the middle of the night to do these phone calls. And it's not that difficult, and it's not that big of a deal, but just know that you're going to have to do that. And to get back to the crux of this is check your IDs, check your passports, check all that, and make sure it's the newest you can possibly have. It will make your life so much easier here. I suggest it, recommend it. And like I said, I really didn't see any videos on this subject. So I figured I would do one on the subject for you. So this has been Rich in the Philippines. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you next time.